Hello, everyone, again. Good evening and good morning, based on the time zone you are joining in. I am Arjun S. Meda, a senior developer evangelist with Automation Anywhere. And in this meetup, we're going to talk about how you can work with DLLs in Automation 360 platform. Along with me, I also have Mr. Dipendra Shekhawat. He's a solution architect here at Automation Anywhere. He's an expert in .NET, and he is pretty good at like working with DLLs and anything to do with .NET on the Automation uh, Anywhere platform, be it V11 or even the Automation 360 platform. In his free time, he also runs a blog called .NETcrunch.in, and he also maintains a YouTube channel where he uploads a lot of technical content along with the RPA stuff. Also, he has some videos created in Hindi as well for anybody who wants to get started and who's pretty much comfortable with Hindi. I'd like to welcome him again. Dipendra, welcome to the meetup. We are happy to have you in the session.
Thanks a lot, Arjun, and thanks everyone who have joined. You do need Visual Studio. This is available, like community edition is available for free. You can download it from Microsoft website. Here, once you have opened your Visual Studio, here you get one option to create a new project, right? So once you create a project, you get an option here to select which project type you want to select. So for creating a DLL is a library. We have seen that dynamic link library, right? So we want to create a library project. We want to select a library project. Now here we are presented with two types of project: class library and class library for .NET. So this class library is for .NET Core. This is for .NET Core project, and this is for your .NET framework. So currently, Automation Anywhere A360 platform, we just support 4.6, 4.7, and 4.8 .NET framework. For .NET Core, the support is not there as of now. It might be coming in the upcoming releases, but as of now, it does not support .NET Core libraries. So we will choose class library .NET framework. Okay. Once we choose this, you can also choose this class library project, provided you have to modify your .NET framework. Like we can create a class library project utilizing this, but in that case, whatever your project file is generated, you have to modify that project file and mentioning .NET framework version. Currently it will be of .NET Core version. So let's go ahead directly with this. If you are interested in how you can modify your .NET framework, so I can show that at the later stage. So once you select the class library project, you are popped up here. We can give the project name. So I'll give DLL. Working with DLL, maybe working with DLL. So that will be your solution name, and that's your project name. You can change the solution name. It need not to be the same. That's fine. Okay, and this is the .NET framework which we are targeting. So 4.7.2 or 4.8, we can target either of them. Let's have this selected 4.8 and create. So it will give me a boilerplate code where we will see a blank. So where we will just see a blank class file loaded in front of us. So this is our namespace, and these are the using statements. So for example, using statements are something like you want to imagine something like packages. You want to use some function from this package, let's say link, then you have to include this package over here. If you are not using anything, you can get rid of them. That's totally fine, right? Okay, so namespace. So namespace is a logical unit in which your classes are included. So in this namespace, you can have many classes. So for now, our class is called class 1. You can rename it. If you rename this file, your class is also gets renamed. Let's keep it default for the sake of demo. And now let me zoom, maximize this bit so that it is visible. Yeah. So for this sake of simplicity, what we are going to do, we are going to build a functionality when we pass two numbers from our automation 360 platform. When we pass two integers, it should determine which one is the maximum, which one is the greatest number, and which one is the smallest number. So we are going to get the min and max numbers utilizing like using this code. So how we can start writing that code? For example, in our class, if you remember, in our slide we mentioned like DLL, like when we are creating DLL can contain classes, functions, methods, variables, right? So we are going to create here a method, or some people call it as function as well. So public int. Why int? Because we are expecting a number as a return type. So that's where I am writing int. If we are not returning anything, then there is no use of this DLL if you are not returning anything. But if you do not want to return anything, then you simply go with void as a return type. So let me type int, and the function name would be max, or greatest number, anything like that. So let me keep it max for now. So in order to determine a max number, you need two numbers, right? So we'll be passing two parameters from automation 360. So let hold them here, and those parameters should be integer parameters. So let's say int num1 and int num2. So this way our function block is ready. So what does this function is doing? It is returning a number which is max, which is greater number out of two numbers. So let's say I am passing 10 and 20, so it should return 20. So how it will return 20? So here what we can do is we can write a return statement, simple, and we can call we can have another variable here, and we can call or we can simply like, instead, if you want to hold your value in a third variable, that's not needed here. We can directly call math inbuilt using like inbuilt namespace math dot max. So using this, you can pass your both the numbers that you are getting from your input parameters, num1 comma num2, and you can see this IntelliSense is giving you the support, like what data type is expected over here. So num1 comma num2, you can pass it on. So what it will return? It will return the max of both the numbers. Similarly, we can have the same function for returning min value as well. So simply we have to do here as min, and the function name is min. And here the function name, you can have you can write anything. It's not needed that you have to get this as max. If I say maximum number or greatest number, anything would do, right? It's just that you have to use the same function name while you are calling this DLL in your automation 360. Okay, so now this works. So this we need to build now. We can use this option to build solution, or you can use the shortcut key as Control plus Shift plus B. Once we build this solution, as you can see in this window down, our DLL is generated. Working with DLL.dll. With this name, you have got the DLL file. So this DLL file you can directly utilize in your Automation 360 platform using, we have just seen using those methods, using those actions, you can utilize it. So let me just grab this path and go back to the use case. Here, let me build a bot. Any questions, Arjun? We can take. Meanwhile, we have time. Yeah. Any questions related to this creating a DLL specifically? I can take those.
Nothing specific. There's a couple of generic ones. Which language is recommended, C# or VB?
Sorry?
Which language is recommended to build this DLL? C# or
C#.
VB?
C# is recommended. Yeah. So for the sake of example, I'm just giving you this scenario, like where we are passing two numbers. We can pass a list of numbers as well. And if you can find let's say I'm passing 5 numbers and I want to determine a maximum number out of those 5 numbers, then that is also possible. You have to just use a list variable in Automation 360 while passing all the parameters. And here the max operation would be run would be required, or would be doing the processing on that particular array, on array. So I can show you that as well. Just let's finish up with this basic example.
Yeah, sure. I think we'll finish this, and then there are a couple of other questions saying like how do we pass multiple output variables, and how do we pass a data table variable? Can we even pass a data table variable from A360 to DLL and get it back from DLL to A360? So all those questions are there.
Okay. Sure. Let's keep a separate section for those questions, like towards the end.
Sure.
Let me create a bot and utilize this DLL. Okay. Yeah. So I am on the I'm on the workbench, and let me create a new bot. Consuming, I'll name it as consuming a DLL. Create. And then here I need to load the DLL package. First, I'll go with open, and here I'm not just for the demo purpose, I'm not using the try catch error handling blocks. But that's not advisable. You have to go with using try catch blocks, steps wherever needed, right? Yeah, just for this demo I am not using, because here we are just demonstrating the concept rather than the best practices. Okay, DLL open. I'll go with desktop file. I had copied that path, so this is my path of the DLL. And session, let's keep default only. Now close session and the run function. So in run function, here the session name, and then we need to enter the namespace. As you can see here, this is our namespace, and this is our class name, and that's our functions. So namespace, class name, and functions. So earlier you have seen I had hard coded them, or I had manually written those, but there is a way you can get these auto filled. So you can click here, get DLL details, this option, and you can pass in the path of your DLL file, whether it is from control room or your desktop. By desktop file, I mean local system. And you can click on next. It will just read the DLL, read the entire DLL using reflection as a technique. So there is a reflection mechanism. Using that, it reads all the detail of your DLL. Some people call it as a reverse engineering as well. So we have different tools for doing a reverse engineering on DLL. If you get a DLL file, you can extract the code of that DLL file. There are tools available in the market. Okay. So for now, here we are using in automation anyway, we are using reflection technique to read the data of DLL. Here we are getting the class name, and here we are getting all the method names. So we are using these are the user defined methods. So we have created these, and these object which you see over here, this object and the other types that are already built in a, when you create a class, these are already available as part of class. So our focus is on let's get the greatest number. So I'll click on this and apply. Oops. Yeah. So once I apply this, you should see them auto filled over here. Yeah. So it's already filled here. Every details will be auto filled only apart from your input parameters. So here input parameters, as in it will fill the parameter name but not the parameter values are something which are user defined and we have to pass them. So here it has entered the parameter name as num1 and num2 because we have our input parameters with these names. If it was value1 or value2, it would have shown here as value1 or value2 because it is reading from the DLL. If you don't want to read it from the DLL and still want to go with entering them manually, you can do so. And here in a parameter name, you can add those parameters as well. Currently, there are only 2 parameters. So those 2 parameters are already present. We are not adding any more. Now what? Now how you can pass those pass values to these parameters. So here from here you can edit it and you can pass the value. Right? From here you can pass it. But I would not suggest hard coding the value over here. Rather, what we can do is we can create a variable. So let me create 2 variables of type number as we are operating on integer value. So let me create 2 numbers. Let me name it as val1 or val1 and val2. Okay, val1 is created. Let me create again val2. So we will again give the input at the runtime. I can also give a default value over here. In that way, it treats that value as a default value, like at the time of initialization, it's the default value of that particular variable. You can also use num package and do assignment in the variable in the bot as well. And then you can come here. Sorry for that. You can come over here and you can just select the variable that you want to assign value. So num1 will have it as val1, close, and here we can pass the value from val2. And this is not this just for demo purpose. I am using this kind of naming convention. When you are actually building your bot for some clients, you should use like specific names, meaningful variable names. Follow the proper best practices like camel casing and all. So that's it. And then we can use this option, run function in the background. And here we have to assign output to a variable. So whatever output we will be getting from here, we are getting a maximum number. So again, it's a type of integer or a number value, right? So we have to create one variable which holds number value. So let me name it as max number. So this max number will hold the maximum number value. And let's use a message box to display that value. max number. And since message box just takes string values, we have to convert it to string. This is how our DLL is ready now. We have created a DLL which just determines maximum and minimum number out of the two numbers that are passed. So let's run this now. So here are the two input values we can pass it from. Let me pass 4 and maybe 3. So it should give us 4, as this is the greater number. Confirm. Yeah, I'm hoping this time it runs. Yeah, so we got 4 as an output. Similarly, you can also use the another function, which is finding smallest number, or whatever function name we had used. Yeah, finding the smallest number. It will work in the same fashion. So just copy pasting over here. For this, we have to use another output variable, min number, create, and here just copy paste this, maximum and min number. So this is our max number. This would be our min number. Okay, let's run this one more time. Here you will see two different outputs, that is 4 and 3, because either of them will be executed each time. Let's change the number just for demo sake. Won't do anything, won't make any difference here. So yeah, and this is not a use case, this is just for demo purpose. Yeah, so max out of those, oh sorry, we did something wrong here, maybe
the message box, it needed to be updated, I think.
Sorry,
yeah, just the function name had to be replaced.
Yeah, just we have missed that. Yeah, let's run this one more time. So as I was saying, here we can have one use case, like you are getting some invoice numbers, or you're getting some values out of which you want to determine which is the maximum number, or a maximum or a minimum number. Maybe you're running some discount related campaign or something. So from bot you are getting 10 or 15 such coupons, or something like promotional codes. You want to determine some minimum or a maximum number out of them. So you can write a code, write a DLL code for that. So in that case, it would be useful. But for just passing two numbers and determining which one is the greatest out of those two, doesn't make any sense. But yeah, this was a simple example just to demonstrate the concept of creating a DLL and using it in Automation 360 platform. So this is running fine, and let's close this. Yeah, I was also saying like how you can pass the list variable over here. List variable, list number variable. For example, you want to pass a list of maybe 5 or 10 numbers, and you want to determine which one is the greatest number out of them. So we'll create one more function which we will call this as get max number, and the input variable here we have to pass is here we will be needing a collection, basically array of numbers. Okay, so this we are going to a bit next level in this. So we have created one function called get max number, where we are expecting a list of numbers. So here in .NET, we specify array in this format. We have to store this information in an array of integer. So yeah, this is how we code array. So what we can do here is on this numbers, we want to get the maximum number. So what earlier we did is math.max, we were comparing, we were from two numbers, we were getting the max number. Here it's not the case. Here the list can have 10, 15, 100, thousands, any kind of records, right? So what we have to do is we can use like this, numbers dot max. But this kind of function is not right now, like it's not available. It's saying like that, right? It's showing us error, right? Why so? Because we are operating on the list of numbers. Like in .NET, we are calling this kind of object as enumerable objects, right? So for that, we need to use one more using statement. That would be using system.link. So with this namespace, it works on all the enumerable types. So link is language integrated query. That's altogether different topic. We will not go into that. But yeah, in order to perform your operation on arrays or a list type of variables, you have to use system.link namespace. So here now you can see that error is gone. This error here, it is coming because we have used int as a return type and we haven't mentioned return as a return statement. So return numbers dot max, as simple as that. So this will give you, suppose in this number you are getting numbers like 1, 2, 6, 9, let's say 23. So if you are passing numbers like this will return you 23. That's the maximum number. So let's try this out. For this, I need to just build this DLL again, because we have did a code change, right? In order to have this code in our DLL file, we have to build the solution. So the DLL will be built with the updated code. So now I just need to use this function. Let me go back here. Let's copy paste again. And this time I remember, Arjun, to use the updated function name. So I'll just use it over here. Get max number. And here the data type would change. So we have to pass a list variable. And in case you're not sure, in case you're not sure how the parameter name should look like how you, what are the expected input parameter, you can always use this function, functionality, like get DLL details. Okay. So let me delete those. Here, I need to pass list type of variable. Let me select here from here in 32 list. Okay. This is the parameter type, and the parameter name I can specify as numbers add. So this is my list. And here in the parameter value, we will be creating one variable, and that variable will be of type list, and subtype will be number. Number list, maybe number list. And yeah, I have two options. Either I can specify this at the time of running the bot, or I can just have here default values. So this time, let's not use this as an input value. Let me give this, give it here as a default value. So what we can do is we'll go with these values only: 1, 3, 6, 9, 23. 1, 3, 6, 9, and 23. Okay, so we have 4 values. Create. And here I just need to include that list variable. Oops. Okay. Close. And let me comment out these two files, these two statements. And here we are expected to get a maximum number out of it. So let me use the maximum number variable only. So let us get rid of this. And we are good to run the bot. Let's run it. Oh, okay. We don't need them. So we should get 23 as our output. So see, we have got 23. Okay. And similarly, we can do some similar thing for getting a minimum number. So yeah, that's all from the demo perspective, how you can build your DLL and use it in Automation 360 platform.